I think we're live.
Our first Be Live here, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We are live because oops, I got to turn down the sound here. So I'm not.
That's proof that everybody knows that this is happening live right now. Okay.
Hold on. I'm talking over myself. So we're here. I'm so excited. How are you?
Doing great. Everybody should be popping on in a second here. We'll see them. We'll see them on Facebook. Are you coming up on Facebook? Is that where the sound's coming in from?
Yeah, it is. So I already see Dr. Danielle is joining us. Oh, I'm going to sit so I can show comments.
I got it. I can see them.
There's that happening. Hi, there's David. Oh, there it comes. Are you able to log on my Facebook so you can see?
Yeah, I'm seeing everything on Be Live.
Oh, you are? Oh, yeah. Good. Cool. Well, hi, everybody. It is Allison Maslan, and we are doing a really fun live episode of Allie You, the business success and lifestyle show. And many of you follow us every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And so for those of you that don't know me, I am a business growth mentor. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and we help business owners grow and scale their companies. That's what we do. And on this show, I get the honor of introducing some brilliant individuals that really go after their dreams. And I love doing that because it inspires me. That's my selfish reason, but also because I want to help you in any way that I can break through your barriers and catapult your business. So today we are going to have so much fun because one of my favorite people in the universe. Yeah, not even the world, like all the planets together, is my guest here today. We've already got quite a few of you joining us, and so hi, Cindy and Matt and Jared. We're all excited that you're here. So let me go ahead and introduce my guest today, and then we can jump right in. So for over a decade, Michael Bernoff has assisted people from all walks of life, people just like you and me, in achieving tremendous success. And I don't know about you, but I don't want just itsy bitsy success. I want dramatic success. So that's what he does. And he started his career as a top performer in direct sales and then moved on to become a powerful and effective sales trainer and recruiter. And today he works with thousands of people in over 35 countries all over the world, including me, including many of my clients and my team, in assisting them in obtaining the life they always dreamed of. And so Michael, welcome, first of all.
Thank you, Allison. I'm thrilled to be here today.
I met you. We met at a mastermind, and I saw you. I saw you speak, and we were in a room with very high-level business owners, very successful business owners, all well into the 7 figures and up. And let me tell you, everybody was on the edge of their seat like this because everything you had to say, you totally grabbed our attention. And so, I mean, you and I have become friends, and you speak at my event, an event that's even coming up here soon. And so I wanted you to come on today so that we could really share some of this brilliance and some of these nuggets that you have for sales and influence to help our clients really grow.
I love that, grow. I love the idea. Well, it's interesting you talk about that, Allison. I remember that day, and it was an interesting group of people because I know you spend a lot of time, energy, and your money and business successes to put yourself in the right room of people. And that crowd that day, that's really what it's about, being in a group of people. And I remember getting up that day and going, what am I going to cover with this group of people that pretty much knows everything? They're already succeeding. And when I threw out the words influence and attention, that grabbed everybody. So that's how we met, and that's what I'd love to, excited to share with you and the people that are watching this today.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think that we live in a society where people have trouble holding their attention more than like 5 seconds. So when you're able to get a room, like all of us creative ADD people, to focus, that's like a miracle.
Yeah, a little bit of it all.
So I have a question. Do you think are the comments that are showing up there, are they distracting to you at all? Do they not? Because
listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I always tell everyone ADD stands for a dynamic disorder. I can do 5 things at once. So if I start looking over here and there, nobody take it personally. So if you want to turn them off, turn them off. It's completely up to you.
So we're good. But let's back up a little bit, because I want to hear the story of how did you, were you like the franchise lemonade stand owner, or you buying stuff at 7-Eleven and selling it to all the students at school? Like how did you know that you were good in sales and influencing people?
Okay. So this is going to sound weird, and I've never told you this before. I used to be painfully shy, and that's going to sound really strange for me to tell you. You're laughing. You're like, yeah, right. This is one of those stories. I was the guy probably almost 15 years ago that I would still need to take, I was amazed the other day that I didn't have to do this, 10 deep breaths before I walked into a party, or as a kid, I'd have to stand outside. And I toughed my way through it. I see it in my daughter. I'd have to tough my way through it. Yet I didn't want to be that way when I was that way. So I caught on really early that wasn't going to work. And I don't know what it was, but I got myself into a situation. I remember being probably about 15, 16 years old, and there's things that I wanted. I had parents that they're good parents. They're nice people. My mom's a teacher. My dad's an engineer. And this is the building of an entrepreneur, because I realize in life you either become like what you're around or the complete opposite. So I became the opposite. I saw all these things I wanted, and my parents were the real salespeople, Allison. Even though they never sold, they would convince me all the time that this is not for people like us. When I'd go to the mall, see fancy cars, I'd say, I want that. My mom would say, not for our type of people. We want to save. We don't want to waste. We want to do this. We want to do that. So I had to hustle and get creative just to get the things that I wanted. So I remember as a kid, I wanted to play hockey. So my parents said, if you can get the equipment, you can play. And I didn't. I had to borrow money. I mowed lawns. I figured it out. I rode my bike 7 miles away, not motorcycle, bike, to go get the equipment, get a duffel bag. Do you know what I'm saying? Duffel bag, put it on the back of a BMX bike and ride it home to make it work. So I started in business out of necessity, which forced me to get better at sales at about 16 years old. So landscape business, maybe a fake ID business that I shouldn't have had. As a kid, supply and demand. Kids wanted alcohol in high school, supply and demand business. So I have been in, maybe I shouldn't put that on the air, but I'm over that now. But it's one of those things that I have always saw that certain people could do things, and they were very, very powerful. I saw kids in high school with rapport. They were dating the person that you'd want to date, doing this, and I could never figure out how they did it. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized, wait a second. If they can do it, I can do it. And all influence and success is a model.
Right. Well, I want to talk about that model today a little bit, because, a lot of the business owners that we work with, they have an established business, right? Yep. They've been building a business for some time. And, but the thing that I know is that you can always improve on sales, right? Yep. So for myself, I never really thought of myself as selling. I've run many, many companies, and I'm just passionate about it. I can't stop talking about it. And so I know my husband's like, enough already. Okay. But I get so excited and I want to help people, so it naturally grows. But as you start building a company and a team, it's got to go beyond you as well. And so then there are certain techniques that you need to learn and put in place. But I think sometimes, people get into business and they get excited and romanced by the idea of business. But when it comes down to sales, it's kind of the last thing that they're focused on. And what I always tell people is sales is the most important thing, because if you're not selling and if you're not getting customers, you're not helping anybody. You're not bringing in money to pay your employees and all those things. So what do you have to say about that?
I'll tell you, sales is the most critical thing that you could do in your business. Anybody watching this, and highly encourage, here's a major sales pitch right now. Stay on this entire program that we're putting on right now, and make certain to watch this twice, because I know Allison and I were talking about, we don't know what we're going to cover, but we had a couple of ideas where we're going to go with this. That's one major thing I'll recommend. Ready, Fire, Aim in that book, it said very, very simply, it said, when Sam Adams first got his beer made, he didn't want to work on making it better. He wanted to go figure out how to sell that first six-pack and then his next six-pack. So the reason I'm bringing that up is that learning sales and getting good at sales is really the primary thing in your business. And a lot of people want to shy away from it. It's like, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want to have to talk. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I want to get in better shape, but I don't want to exercise. So if you want to be in business, one of those things you got to get over is
figure that one out. Let me know.
Yeah, I know, right? Like crazy. Like imagine that I saw
pounds, but I want to eat the pizza.
Yeah, I want to eat pizza, sleep till noon, and be rich. So you're gonna have to learn sales. It doesn't have to be icky and gross, but all sales is. I stole this. I saw it online, so it's got to be accurate from Google. That sales comes from a Norse word, sale, which means to serve. And it got misconstrued over the years. So all sales is to serve another person, like serve up, like I've got this thing, you want it. Like, we're selling all the time. I mean, I was in a group once and a lady said she didn't like sales. I said, you're great at it. She goes, no, I'm not. I said, look how well you're selling me, how you're not good at sales. Like, we're always selling as humans all the time. We're like, some people like to sell how they're depressed. People sell how they're broke. People sell how they can't sell. So I think one of the greatest things
to convince your spouse or your children to get on board with you about something they don't want to do, right?
Yeah. You got to sell somebody on where you're moving, what you're doing, where we're going on vacation. I mean, like, sales is happening all the time. So it's a beautiful part of the world, yet it doesn't have to have that icky thing. And I have a perspective on that I'll share later, which is huge. And so if anybody's watching this and wants to know, like, two things to change your life. One is, you want to change your life, move your body, like do something you don't normally do. Number two, you want to move your business, sell something. You always feel good when something sells. It's like the person that gets out of a divorce, go on a date. You know what I mean? Do something. So my recommendation is sell, learn how to do it. And I got some ideas later how we can transfer the word sales into something way more powerful.
Right, but you guys stay on this broadcast, this episode of Allie You, because we're going to be giving some great sales tips that could be major breakthroughs for you. So definitely stay with us. So let's talk a little bit about, and we're going to give some tips and some scenarios, and also for some of you that are watching and you're commenting, we'll help you directly as well. So, in fact, let's look at some of the comments that are here. We've got Paul. Hi, Paul. We've got Susan McNichol. How's it going, Susan? And we've got Cindy from Wimberley, Texas. So, really glad that you all are here with us today. And go ahead and comment below. Let us know if you're enjoying this content. Where are you from and what business do you have? Where are you from, and tell us what your business is. So,
yeah, and feel free while you're at this. I mean, absolutely feel free right now. My recommendation is, if you know somebody on your team, this is huge. Like, have the conversation. Get your teammates on, other people you know, like other business owners, your insurance agent, get them involved. Because if we can have this honest conversation about marketing and selling and about effective influence, it's only going to affect your circle that you're around. So feel free to have them join us so we can help them as well. They'll thank you for it.
Yeah, put it on their feed, right?
Yep.
On the page. Go ahead and share it on their page. All right, what is the difference between sales and influence? Because I think it can be very confusing, and there is a difference. And the reason I bring this up is that a lot of the business owners we work with, as I said, they've already established traction. They've been building, good revenue in their business, and they're ready to scale. And I believe there's a shift when you move from entrepreneur to leader, in your business. and you're making an impact with your team and a community at large. And then it shifts to kind of this level of influence. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I use this all the time. I mean, I remember when I first convinced myself that I liked sales, even when I didn't, I was like a liar to me. And I would say, oh, I love sales. There was a guy once that just said to a room of people, it was life-changing for me, like one of those moments. He said, why would you want to be on sales when you can be a person of influence? And I thought about those words, person of influence, and I realized how amazing that is. Like, we have the ability to influence ourselves to eat right. You have the ability to influence someone to get money. Like, you met someone on our team when you were out here that we influenced her. She influenced herself to triple her income, lose weight. It was a fascinating story. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is that if you can learn how to be a person of influence and also have the ability to influence other people, that's the power. So when you're a person of influence, you can make a recommendation. Like, if Allison is a person of influence in my life, she recommends you should stay here, you should eat there, that's where I'm going. Same thing. So I'm just going to encourage all of you to tell you the higher level of sales is really becoming influential, which is that person of influence. So I will tell you, all the stuff I teach is really about influence, not about sales, but sales is what influence leads to.
And I was just thinking when you said that, it's kind of like when someone that you respect gives you advice, like, an inside tip, or you know what, you just need to do this.
Yes.
If it's their product, it's like when you go to the doctor and they're saying, this is the prescription you need to pick up. You're not going to question them, right? You're going to say, okay, this is someone that I seek advice from, and that's a different energy, right? Let
me add something to it, because I know your background with homeopathy and everything, and this is interesting. This is a tidbit right now for everybody watching. So grab your pen and paper. You want to write this down, or this is a profitable thing that you'll want to do. So this is huge. Whenever you're in the middle of a presentation and you listen to somebody and you did a little bit of like going over a couple of different things and everything, I have learned that we have neural pathways in our brain. This is my influence training. I just saw our brain expert just show up a second ago, so this got me thinking about this.
Dr. Danielle.
All of these neural pathways in our brain, that this is easy and this is hard. So in our brain, every human being that's ever been to a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, somebody that's an expert, they've said something to somebody, and there's a part of their brain that allows them to lower resistance. And it's a very simple set of words that if you use this after listening to somebody, you'll take down their resistance like 50% immediately. And it goes like this. I'd listen to Allison for a little bit. I'm her architect or whatever. And I'd say, Allison, look, based on what you just shared with me, here's what I recommend. And that simple words, based on what you just shared with me, made a person think they were heard, they were listened to, and it immediately gives the credibility as an expert. So I will tell you that all influence is subtle communication that makes it more comfortable for somebody to make a decision. So if every one of you listen to the end of this, and at the end, later today, say it to your kids, hey, they're complaining about not wanting, well, it's summertime, but they don't want to come in from the pool. Look, based on what you just shared with me, I totally get why you don't want to come in for the pool. Here's something I want to tell you. It changes everything. I use this stuff with my kids, with my family.
I'm going to use that with my daughter, because she always says that I don't listen, but it's usually when I don't agree.
Yep.
I totally
got to acknowledge.
But now if I say, based on what you're telling me, why don't you do this?
Well, check this one out. So let's just do this impromptu right now. And this is sometimes our best stuff. We do this way. So take your daughter for an example. Is she watching this? Because we're going to give you a technique.
No, but I'll send it to her. Trust me.
Block her feed, and no, I'm just kidding. So when your daughter says she wants you to agree with her, but people will settle for acknowledgement. So what I do when someone says, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't want to do that, you can't say to them, okay, but you can say something that sounds like that to them, gets you on their team, and continues the conversation. That's a technique as simple as this. It's acknowledging someone. So when someone says, I don't have the money, I immediately say, because we get that a lot in business, I say, I totally see why you might say that. They immediately think you agreed with them. You just acknowledged they were heard. And by doing that, I totally see why you might say that. Their guard goes down. Wait, they like me. And then immediately later, they will swear on their life you agreed with them, but you didn't. totally see why you might say that.
I love that.
You don't want to stay that way, do you? Yeah. Go ahead.
I this brought up some thoughts.
Let's just be random right now because we have 80 entrepreneurs.
I know. So I'm so excited. This is just so much fun hanging out with you, Michael.
You too.
So if I haven't said this before, I always introduce him as my brother from another mother. So
I like that. My sister.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, I've got a couple client stories that I want to share with you because I think that a lot of you that are listening can relate. And then we can also, they're actually on here, so we can give them some direct feedback.
Talk about them in front of them. Yes.
Okay. And so I'm gonna share those stories. But first, I just wanted to make a mention that Michael is going to be speaking at my upcoming event. That is just in a few weeks.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, so it's called the CEO Success Network Retreat, and it is for established business owners that are ready to scale, to multiply their revenue, to multiply their team, and really grow. We have Kara Golden, who is building $1 billion company with her Hint Water, and Vishen Lakiani, who's the CEO of Mind Valley, and we have Michael Bernoff, who is the expert. Oh, have you ever met this guy? On Persuasion and Influence. So if you'd like to get some information on that and a special promotional price, just in the comments, put the word profits.
With an S.
Profits with an S. In fact, I'm going to stick this on.
I was making certain because I don't want profit. I want profits.
Right. I mean, you're kind of like a prophet, but we're talking about the money.
Got it. I'll take that.
Yeah. So profits. And this will actually, and then if you use the word profits in the promo code, you're going to get $1,000 off the ticket. This is a very high level event, and we only have a few seats left. So I wanted to just let you guys know this, and we're going to jump on into the case studies. All right.
I'm excited. You said something interesting, and I'd never heard you say this, Allison, about the event. You used a very, very important word, and this is huge. This is like that room we met in when we first met with that high-level group. When you get in a room outside of the speakers and the event and all the amazing material you're going to cover,
right?
Finding a weekend where you get an opportunity to spend time with already established entrepreneurs and business owners, yeah. That is what I pay a lot of money for. You know what I mean? You and I are in groups together. We pay $25,000 to be with a group of people that are already established. So huge ancillary benefit to everything.
Well, that's how you and I met. And it's just that one person could, be your $1 million connection. So that's what I invest in, making sure I get in front of the right people.
Yep.
And that brings us back to this whole thing about influence.
Yes.
Right? One person of influence can open the doors that you've been banging at for years and not getting anywhere.
Yep.
So anyway, let's talk about this case study.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So first client is Nairi, and I believe Nairi is here.
Hey, Nairi.
Yeah, Nairi Kalajian. Hi, Nairi. And Nairi has a company called Novella Bridal. And Nairi is a member of our Pinnacle Global Network, which is our private coaching and mastermind.
Awesome.
And she's been exploding. Her company has been exploding this year with growth, and we're super excited. And so Nairi, like the business owner, like you, like me, we're good in sales. But I believe the challenge that Nairi has been having is that getting her team, the salespeople, right, to get them motivated to sell. And they come up with challenges like when the customers come in to try on these absolutely gorgeous.
I'm going to take notes as you're doing this.
Okay. Bridal gowns. Then, the customers might say that the price is too high, or, you know what, I'm just looking around. We're going to go look at other bridal stores. So what would be some advice to give Nairi to help her team influence these customers?
Okay. There's a lot of things. I mean, this could be a 17-hour discussion right now, so I'm going to give tidbits that everybody can use, which is awesome. My whole thing, Nairi, I just give everybody, if you could just down below, just give an applause, like great job. I mean, you're in business, you're kicking butt, making it happen. Say great job, Nairi, great job, give applause, say yay, say profits, whatever you want to say. My number one take on this is really getting the team on board. This is one of the biggest things that I do, is getting the team on board about the necessity of what it is that we do and really talking about what we're really selling. So this is some prep work on influence that the company needs to do. And if it's not, salespeople are supposed to sell. And if they're not selling, they're either the wrong person or they're not really a salesperson. So let's get clear. But if you have a good salesperson that's done well before and they're not selling for a while or they're having objections, this is a little different animal conversation. So you've got to address all those things. I have learned that if people are passionate, okay, if they're passionate about what it is they do. Like I was reading Phil Knight's book on Nike. It was fascinating. They all love shoes. Like, isn't that a great book? If you're in business and you haven't read that book, read the book, Shoe Dog. It's amazing. So make sure all your people are passionate about wedding dresses. My wife, she bought 2 when we got married. She didn't like the first one, bought a second one. So we know about buying wedding dresses in our house.
So you get to get married again.
I wanted to sell. What's that?
You get to get married again.
You have to get married again. We have the second one, and we can use it. It's sitting there. But the whole thing that I would do is when people have trouble selling, I have to frame everything for people. I train my team to do a couple of very, very powerful things. Number one is to understand that we have to stop those old belief patterns of traditional sales. Like the whole myth of you got 2 ears. How many times have you heard this, Allison? You got 2 what? 2 ears and 1 what? Mouth, spend double the time. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'll say it politely because from Jersey, it's bullshit. And the reason I'll say it like that is it doesn't matter what you hear. It's what's really going on that matters. So here's the deal. Somebody walked into a bridal store. Somebody walks up the ladder onto a diving board. Why are they on the diving board? Why are they there? They're there for one specific reason, to dive into the pool. But their job when they get there, because they're insecure, because they're uncomfortable, is to talk themselves out of diving. When somebody says just looking at it, I remember going to Chess King when I was a kid. Remember Chess King, the store at the mall? Yeah. I used to go to Chess King and trying on clothes, and I would walk in, I'd say just looking. But I didn't really mean just looking. What I meant to say is I'd really love to buy everything here, but I don't have any money. Or I don't have my parents' credit card. Or I'm scared. So when somebody says, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, you've got to realize all that person's saying is, I'm having trouble making a decision. Our job as influencers is to lower another person's resistance, increase the receptivity, and make it more comfortable to make a decision. Like if I was selling in the bridal world, I would so easily, everybody that walked in, and I think as salespeople or as business owners, we a lot of times think that people have heard this before. The person walking out and the person walking in didn't speak. They don't know that you had a chance to say the same thing twice to everybody. So you can say the same thing over and over again. And what I would say is, look, all we care about at our store here as a bride is that you have an amazing experience. You have so many more things to worry about than spending hours picking out a dress. We want to make this easy and as painless as possible. And if you need us to check another store or check another place, we'll do that for you as well. What you're doing is telling people it's okay. I mean, my team will spend 3 hours planning what my subject matter is going to be for a presentation when it really only takes 3 seconds. It took 3 hours to make a 1-second decision. Human beings have trouble making a decision. So a couple of words that you want to use when somebody walks in. And tell me if this interests you, Allison. I've taught this to everything from the gym business to the bridal business to insurance to everything. So what made you decide to come in today? When you say to somebody, what made you to decide to come into our store today? Instantly that makes them go in decision mode.
Yeah.
You don't ask, can I help you? The answer is, of course you can help me. What made you decide to come in today? Oh, I'm getting married. Great. So finding the perfect dress is on your agenda today. Great. Well, that's all we care about here, and that's all we do. And if you're cool with it, we'd like to save you as much time as possible. We've been at this for 20 years. What that does is it separates you and it makes you different. That's not cheesy sales lines. It's resistance lowering techniques.
And what about saying something too like, we want to make this not just a shopping, journey. We want to make this a whole experience for you.
Yeah, it depends who you're dealing with. I mean, if you were dealing with my wife, she'd want to just get in and out quickly. Does that make sense? I want the perfect dress, make it now, get it right, want it perfect. That's one type of person. Other women are you have to understand the mindset of the people. They are so into this. Like, they've been dreaming about getting married since they watched Cinderella. Like, that's their deal. Beauty and the Beast, when they saw that in 91, they were like, that's it, I'm getting married. There's my prince. I want this to take forever. We'll make this work. I'm all in. So we've got to get in the mind of the person. So we've got to stop selling, and we have to start reading people's minds. Like, I was teaching today on an influence call that we did. Somebody said, someone said, like, as parents, we never want to live through our kids, but we don't want our kids to make the same mistakes, right? So instead of selling a karate membership, I said, why don't you say, even though you shouldn't live through your child, I bet you wanted them to do better than you did and have more confidence than you did through life. Check out our membership, because that's what's going on at night in somebody's brain.
Yeah, getting to the emotional piece of it.
Real influence is reading the mind of the person.
Right.
Which is not complicated if you take a minute to know your customer. You only have like 6 types of customers. They all have, like, you got the lady that wants in and out. You got the person that wants to be here forever. You got the indecisive person. You got the one bringing her mother with her, and the mother is like this. Now we got to deal with her and butter her up. So I don't know if that explains it quickly.
So
but
Nairi, I'm going to see if, go ahead, Nairi, and comment and see if that resonates with you. And what about the customers that, like, they find the perfect dress? Here it's your special day, and they say, you know what, I think this is too expensive. How would you handle that?
Okay, Nairi says this is great. I think it was selling her last time we talked on a race. Okay, so Nairi, this is what I would do, and we're using you as an example. Sub out wedding dress with soda products that are healthy. Sub out with nutrition. Sub out with brainwave technology. Sub it out with an iPhone. Okay, so when somebody says this is expensive, then the initial thing I say is, I totally see why you might say that. And the reason I say that is it lowers the resistance immediately. The other thing is, when someone says, I totally see why you might say that, let me ask you, is this really something you want that we need to get creative and figure out how to get, or is this completely out of your price range? You got to get them honest with you, and you got to have the tough conversation. Like, are we having is this completely uncomfortable or more than you expected? These are the words in people's heads. Is this, like, you don't want to sound like a salesperson, but you got to influence them. Like, I totally see why you might say that. I get it. So let me ask you, what would you want this price of this dress to be? Hand it back to them. They say, I don't know. Well, let's make something up. Let's figure it out. I get it. Yet, here's the deal. In 3 years from now, when you're looking back at your wedding pictures, I want you to be in the dress that makes you feel the best.
Yeah. So the feeling, because people buy from their emotions. So that's a big one. And in fact, I love that. I love that. So
I gotta add one thing. Can you hold that thought? Are you gonna stay on her for one more minute, or are we moving on?
I want to move on to somebody else, and I'm
gonna add one thing to this, if you don't mind, Allison. I'm gonna over-influence myself. One last little gift. The ceremony. I teach this in business. I taught this to I Love Kickboxing with Michael Perella, and it was huge. The ceremony. Anybody can hand somebody, hey, here, idiot, here's your kickboxing gloves. By handing you these gloves, by handing you this dress, I want to let you know that you're doing something most people will never do. By handing you this dress, I want to tell you, you're on your way to having the most amazing wedding possible. Like, you can make anything into a ceremony, like almost like a fraternal thing. By handing you this iPhone, I want to let you know you've now entered into a community of people that demand the best. Congratulations. Anytime you can add a ceremony, it's a
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I mean, because just think about it. Well, you wouldn't know, but when you're walking down the aisle, you're not thinking about the price then. You're thinking about how that feels, what the experience is. So another client, can I move on?
You can do anything you want. It's your show. It's not Allie and Mike. It's Allie and You, which is you. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe we'll change it. You can be my co-host.
Co-host.
All right.
Hey, Allie, Mike and You show.
So Dr. Danielle she's been a client of mine for 3 years in the Pinnacle Global Network, and she does brain training, which
Not brain transplants.
no, well, it's kind of like that in a sense, but no.
Okay.
Not as invasive for sure.
No scalpels.
In the work that she does, it's kind of like biofeedback, but it's its own system, and she miraculous things for sleep and ADD and depression and so forth. And again, she's good at selling, but when clients come in and they need several sessions, right? You can't transform someone's brain in one session. And it's not cheap, but it's life changing. So you really can't put a value on it, right? Yes. So some of the objections that will come up are, I really love this, but I need to talk to my spouse. Okay. And we get that. We want the whole team on board, but you know what happens? A lot of times they'll go home, and because the spouse wasn't there, they don't really get how important this is or how powerful it is. So how do you handle that?
I have the greatest technique in the world, and call the sales, call it influence. This is, you got to influence the person. So they walk in. Let's role play real quick. I walk in, you know that I can help make your brain better and you could be more effective. This is correct. I'm her, you're you.
I need it badly.
Do this, your brain will be better. Everything will be great.
Yeah.
So tell me I got to ask my husband.
You know what, Michael, God, this sounds great, but my husband and I have an agreement, and we promise to run everything by each other before, we even spend $25. Okay.
So remember, all sales and all influence is the ability to low resistance, increase receptivity, and make somebody have less resistance. So part of sales is lowering the resistance in another person. So initially I would say, totally see why you might say that. I'm married also. Building a bond is stronger than destroying it. I totally get it. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you really want to do this?
Oh, yeah. I would absolutely love to do this. Okay. I would love to do this. I just don't know, if my husband will, he doesn't really get how hard it is when you don't sleep, because he sleeps like a rock.
Totally get it. Probably snores too, right? Now, here's the thing. This is how I want to position this. I would say very, very simply, I would say, okay, I totally get why you might say that. You want to do this. You say yes. Okay. So how great would it be if you went home and he said, this is awesome. Why don't you go for this, Allie? Sounds great. Would you love that?
Yes, I would sign up right now.
I've been doing this for 10 years. And I probably could tell you exactly the objections he's going to have. Because if you go home and try to explain the last 10 minutes, do you think you could explain this as good as me for 35 years as a doctor?
Not at all.
Okay. I'm going to teach you about coming from a position of strength when dealing with something. So do you want to work together to find a way to win him over on this?
I would really appreciate that if you could help me.
So what I'd like to do is make a couple of recommendations. One is, if you ask for his permission and you try to explain it, he's going to think that you're not all in. Now, are there things that he loves to do? What does he spend money on?
He loves to surf. Anything to do with surfing.
And surfing's cheap or no?
No, he's got to have the best surfboard.
Okay, those aren't cheap these days, are they? No. A couple $1,000 or whatever it is? Okay.
Yeah,
so he's got his hobbies. So we need him to understand that this is important to you as surfing is to him, correct?
This is true.
Okay. The other thing I want to tell you is that if you go home and ask if you can, that's okay. You're not coming from a position of strength. A man coming from a man, and you could say this is a woman, if my wife came to me and asked permission, I might say yes, I might say no. If my wife came to me and said, this is important to me, she's always going to get the yes, because he loves you, right?
Right.
So here's what I'm going to recommend you do. Take the step, enroll now, because the reason I say this is our relationship gets a little weird. You walk out that door, you come back 3 months from now, you're going to thank me 3 months from now. You're like, oh, I wish I would have done this 3 months sooner. You enroll, say you're going to do it. Go to your husband and say, I decided to do something today. This is important to me. If there's this major issue, call me back. We'll take care of it. But the reason is I'd love you to walk out of here as somebody saying, this is important to me and it means something to me, because the way that you decide to get started in this procedure with your brain, what you put into it is huge. So if you start with doubt, you add doubt to it. This is no different than buying a home. You will always doubt. This is the same, Allison, for your coaching. You know this.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm coming to you and I'm asking permission, basically what I'm saying is I don't trust myself enough.
And I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah, but if I come to you and I say, you know what, you may not get this, you may not understand, but I think
you're better off saying, this is really important to me, like surfing is to you. This is really, so you're coaching them to sell their husband. And if you need to get me on the phone, I will gladly go over it. And while we're at it, why don't we give you your first procedure now? And the reason is, now they're in.
I love that.
So I've only done this at the tune of millions of dollars in sales over the years. So people say, does it work? My clients have used it in every single industry. And the reason is you're coaching the one person to sell the other. I do this with business partners. Like, you're like, I got to ask my business partner. Totally see why you might say that. Can I make a recommendation? Okay. Can I make a recommendation? If you go to your business partner and ask permission, it's weak. If you go to them and say, I found something great, I signed us up for this. If you have anything you want to do, it's powerful what it does.
Yeah. No, well, you're coming from a place of confidence too.
Yes.
Right.
And so you can say what I said.
Come in sort of mamby-pamby, you're going to be projecting fear, and they're going to be picking up on that. So
yes.
You're going to get a funny feeling. So I love this. I love this. And so I'm just looking at some of the comments. Can you see the comments here?
I can't see them because I think you stole them from me. But
oh, I did. Okay.
I was talking to a person the other day, and if you go to your significant other and you say you and this, you need to say we. Here's something I decided would be great for us that I'm really interested in doing. I know if I sleep better, it'll be better for all of us. Like, come from the we, it's more powerful than you and I and all that stuff.
I love that because it's the team. We're in it together.
Yes. I can't see the comments. If you guys are enjoying this post, I'm enjoying this. If you like it, great. I have a little more time that I can serve more.
Yeah, so let's talk just briefly.
What do you mean get that first procedure? What do you mean get that first procedure? I mean, teach them something for 5 minutes. Give them some win right there. After you gave someone the confidence and the courage to go do something, if you're teaching tennis lessons, give them a 5-minute lesson. You're doing martial arts, do something. Give them something to go home with. Show them how to hold their fingers to feel better. Give them a cup of water that is special. Give them, I don't know, just do something to engage.
Exactly. Get them started, Dr. Danielle. So don't book it for a later time. Start right away.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we're going to share some more sales tips.
Yes.
But before we do, go ahead and enter in the comments the word profits. Profits. And you're going to get a little message from us in your Facebook message inbox. A little surprise from us.
That's so cool how that does that.
I know, isn't that cool?
That's like I teach me how to that's like magic. Would you call Zuckerberg and say, hey, can you make Facebook change for me?
I did. And
profits with an
O for you too.
I like it. Profits with an O to
profit. But this is so all this stuff about influence, you're going to be sharing this at the CEO Success Network retreat. And so you've been to this event before.
Yes.
And can you share a little bit about why you feel this event is different than other events that you've attended?
I mean, it's huge. I shot a really cool video. If you could find that, Allison, post that afterwards for me, the video I shot last year? Super cool. I posted it on my wall, but I'm going to ask you if you can send that. That'll be super cool, like what I felt last year, because you caught me like I came off stage and here, shoot this video. And I'm like, I want to tell you about the event first. So I talked about the event before I shot a training video, which was awesome. So the biggest takeaway, what I loved about this, and I'm someone that's asked to share there. I'm not, this is Allison's event. I'm asked to share, be part of the event, is the speakers and what you take to put this on and how you take care of in a classy way the people at the event. Never seen it before in the industry. It is incredible. From the gifts to the VIP. I got a chance to meet the VIPs at the lunch, and it was amazing. You're doing that again too with the VIPs? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm sure when you hit profits, that'll be explained. What I loved about it was the higher level conversation. It wasn't, you were talking about things that really matter to people where they're really at. So it's not your generic, yay, have a goal, yay, here's a sales script, yay, you need Facebook. It was really the tough conversations, what's really going on. You brought in people that I'm sitting there in the back taking notes. I think I might have recorded some of the people and played it maybe afterwards, but it was really cool watching the caliber of the people get it. So the collaborations at the networking portion was really amazing. So I would say the biggest takeaway was the collaboration, your material's incredible, and really the cohesiveness of everybody, because you don't have a group of people, there's not anybody that's just getting started. It's real people with real challenges and real growth ideas, sharing, caring. I can't talk about the women's room, but I definitely know in the guys' bathroom, they're still talking about the event at the urinal. Like they're exchanging business cards, hopefully washing hands and all that stuff also. But the side note is, it was incredible. And I loved when I got to share the room, I could be myself like I always am and really have that tough conversation about really that word profits. And that's really what the event became about, is raising the bottom line of your business and really getting to what you really want to be doing. Because if you're not living the business you want and the life you want at the time you want, get your butt to this event, because it is powerful, the amount of free space it's going to open up in your mind and get you a lot of that time back you're looking for.
Well, thank you for that, Michael.
That was my unsolicited recommendation.
You're so awesome.
Thank you.
I think that there's a lot of events out there for startups, and we all have to start somewhere, right? I've had many startups, so have you. But then
I avoid those now.
You what?
I avoid those events now because I want to be at your events, things like that.
I think it's like the forgotten entrepreneur. Once you get more advanced and established, it's this feeling like, okay, I hit my ceiling. Yep. I've been at this a number of years, but I'm just working harder. And it doesn't mean like, if you're at 1 million and you want to get to 2 million, or 2 million, you want to get to 4 million, doesn't mean you just work twice as hard. That is not the answer. It's being smart strategically.
Yes.
And so that you can multiply and scale quickly. And so this event is about how do you scale your business. And when you walk out at the end of the event, you literally have a step-by-step roadmap to scale your company.
And you really got a plan. What I love about what you and your team offer is like, okay, and if you're really serious, you got like a real plan for you, and you can dig deep and you can get serious and put that plan in place. So in your mental calendar that your next year's covered. Like, I got this. And a lot of events are like, yay, I'm high, it's Sunday. And then Monday, what am I supposed to do again? For serious people, that thing. It's like people go to church on Saturday and Sunday are like, I'm all in, church, temple, yay, I'm all in. And like Monday, well, what am I doing again? Like, what's going on? Like, let's watch a football game. It's really about owning this in your heart and your soul, and from you and that your team there, it's really cool. And I'm going to be covering not this stuff here. I know I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff like tactical stuff, because a lot of people do face-to-face video marketing sales. However you are in front of a human, I will teach you just in my one section alone. You're going to get in, how long do I have? 50 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes?
An hour.
I have an hour to teach 7 hours worth of stuff. And I always compress with how fast I talk and voodoo. I use influence to influence you so you actually go use the material. So that's what I love. And what I love about your group is it's a room full of implementers. It's a room full of people that aren't going to want to learn, they want to do. So imagine tactics to grab attention, lower resistance, increase receptivity that you can use in email, video. Anyways, you'd understand.
Yeah, I mean, we want you to be successful, and this is my mission and my passion. I mean, being a business owner is not easy. It's not easy, right? But you know, this is so important to me. This is my life's mission, and so I want to bring people on my stage that are going to have a major impact in your life, and then we want to give you the exact steps so that you know exactly how to implement it. So just getting motivated and inspired is great, but if you don't know what to do with it, then you know it's kind of lost. So I want to answer some of the questions that are here. I know this is going long, so we'll
if you're enjoying this, let us know what you like. I mean, if you're enjoying it, say keep going, and we'll keep going. I mean, I at least have another 10 minutes. You know?
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun. I enjoy this.
So put profits in the comment box. Go ahead and put that. And if you have someone that you really care about, a business owner that you care about, and you want to see them scale, please share this with them as well.
I never thought about this. Can they bring a business partner with them too? Is that cool?
Yeah. In fact, it's smart, because when do you ever get 3 days away from all your distraction?
Yep.
Did you spend 3 days planning your business with your business partner? That alone is a game changer. I mean, you know, you and I, remember when we like took that whole day together and planned some stuff that we wanted to do? Like, we tried to do that for a year. It just didn't happen. You can't.
I'll get back to you later. Yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. You know, after Maya doesn't keep me busy. Yeah, she's 5. I'll be busy forever. I see what that's like.
It's just, you can do meetings, 30 minutes here, an hour here, even 4 or 5 hours. But when you spend 3 days with your business partner, your team, your spouse, you know, then you get the big ideas. Then you have time to really explore a whole new way to approach your business.
And it's in beautiful San Diego.
It's in Coronado, right on the beach. So
that's horrible. That's awful. And you can get up, go for a run, go for a walk. It's, wow.
We have people from New York. We have people from London coming. You know, it's going to be great. I cannot wait. But anyway, go ahead and put profits in the comment box. But let's look at some of the comments that we're getting here. Let's see. David says, selling one-on-one interaction with prospective customers is crucial to business growth, but most importantly to self-growth. I think that's so true, because selling really is about putting your value out there as a human being, don't you think?
This is huge. The greatest thing I ever learned in my life was one of my mentors said this. He said, making money is easy. The communication is the hard part. If you could learn how to communicate and sell, you could do anything. So when I learned sales, you guys all think, oh yeah, sales so I can make money. You know when I used sales this morning? At 5:30 when my alarm went off, when I wanted to push the snooze button, sales came into play in my brain. I influenced myself, running shoes on, half awake. A 5K later, 150 push-ups later, it was a sales pitch on me. A sales pitch at dinner tonight with overeating. A sales pitch on making the time to spend your time with your kids. I mean, a sales pitch on your kids on drugs. I mean, you have got to learn how to influence people if you want to be effective in this world.
Can I tell my story? Can I tell my the best sales?
If you're going to tell the strangest voicemail I ever got story, go for it.
Okay. So I had a super important sales pitch, the sales pitch of my life. And I called Michael. I said, Michael, I got something really important that just has to go through, and I need some advice on how to phrase this.
And I'm getting this as a voicemail on my phone, and I'm like, uh-oh, what is it? And I had no idea. It's all I heard, and I hung up and I called her, and then this is what I heard on the other end of the line. Okay.
So for those of you that don't know, I'm a trapeze artist. So I've been flying on the trapeze for almost 20 years. And so I have been driving to LA like 6 hours in a day, 3 hours there and back every week for all these years to train. And so my husband and I finally, we've had this dream to get a beautiful home and property so I could put a trapeze in the backyard. And that happened a year ago. And so now the only thing in the way was my neighbor. Part of the cables were going to have to go into his property about 20 feet.
An older man that's been there a while.
Yeah, about 40 years. Okay.
You know those kind of people, everyone.
Yeah. So I had to convince him that I could get the okay. So I called Michael up. I said, Michael, I'm walking over there now. I've got the chocolate chip cookies. I don't even bake. And I've got the chocolate chip cookies. And I just need to know what to say to convince this guy. And so what did you tell me? Do you want to share that?
Yeah, I said, let's get in his mind and let's really get in his mind. And I said, you can walk over there and ask, or you can line him up that he'll say yes. And I had you say something to the effect of, my entire life, I've always wanted to, since I was a little girl, all I ever dreamed about was what? Being on the
trapeze and having one in my backyard.
And when I bought this property, they can put one up, and I'm super excited. And the reason I asked is I'm going to need to borrow 5 feet of your property, and you won't even see it, so I can live out my dream.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I did. And he said, well, of course.
And he looked at you like a 12-year-old girl. He looked at you probably like a 12-year-old, which is what you wanted him to look at you as, right?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want to ruin my dream, my life dream, right? So
he may not want to ruin his yard, but he's not going to want to destroy your dream.
Yeah. So that was a form of influence, but it's, wasn't about money, but it's still about how you position the way that you're communicating.
Yes.
And shift a completely different bird's eye view to what you're trying to convey.
That is so crucial what you said. And I'll just tell you, we use this stuff everywhere. Like my daughter had a bad experience. I have influence tactics that are so strong that can remove a thought from somebody's head. You could take this so deep as you want to go. But for starters, let's make you some money. Let's start with money, and then you'll realize how to make your life better.
Exactly. And so that's why we want to help you all make more money. We want you to get out there.
They like money. If not, they don't have to.
Well, I mean, here's the thing is that whether you like money or not, do you have a passion? Do you have a gift that you want to share? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Are there people out there that need what you have to offer? Because if you're not sharing that, that's like the saddest thing ever. That means that you came onto this earth and you have this gift and you're keeping it to yourself.
Yep.
So I think that's selfish. People need you, right? But if they're not going to exchange it for like if you're giving all this energy and this wonderful thing and you're not getting anything in return, then the person receiving it is not going to see how important it is. They're not going to really appreciate the value unless they're investing in it.
Huge, huge. And I'll tell you, if you get influence down, you'll never have to sell again the rest of your life because you just recommend. Like I have doctors here locally, like naturopath type people that literally I'd probably send 200 people to his practice by just saying, go there. I can't explain anything, but it's what you want to do. And they go there. The guy doesn't even take insurance. He's not cheap. And I probably sent 200 people there, and they love him for it. So when you learn how to be influential, your whole world changes. Like you get first class on airlines, and not because you're even asking. People just want to give things to you, and they want to take care of you because people love powerful people, and there's no more powerful thing in the world than influence.
Yeah. And that power comes from valuing your own self-worth.
Yes.
Stand up, be proud, and share all the amazing things that you have and asking for what you're worth.
And really, really respecting yourself, influence, like having the influence to say, when you say, well, like even like this event, to use as an example, or an event I have or something, to say, when your brain kicks in, like, oh, I'd like to go to that, but what else do I have going on? And da-da-da-da-da. Stopping yourself, going, wait, hold on, I know I need to do this. Implementing yourself to take the time and solve it. Implementing yourself to go to fill out that word profits, get the discount, whatever it is, click the link, get a plane flight. That requires influence, because you got to break your pattern, because you're going to do next year what you did this year if you don't influence yourself to do something different. And I'll steal something from one of my mentors, Jim Rohn back there. He was like a dad figure for me when it came to business he's not alive anymore, but when he taught Tony Robbins, this guy's awesome. And he said, you're going to be next year who you are this year again, depending on the books you read, the seminars attend, the people you surround yourself by. So I just tell you, watch this video a couple times. Maybe I'll watch it again. Maybe I'll get smarter. We'll see. So did you want to catch a few more things out, Allie? I have like 5 minutes.
Okay. So first of all, put in the comments the word profits so you can get information about the event. Yeah. And I think you made a good point, though, because there's always going to be a reason and an excuse why we can't do something, right?
Always. And if we don't have one, we'll invent one.
I know. But I didn't tell you this. You got up and ran this morning. I did a 3-minute plank.
Wow. 3
minutes. I had to do some major influence talking in my brain.
You went from I know I can't to I will, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Then I had to prove it to myself. Mike was he was so impressed. All right. So I'm looking for some questions here. Anybody have some questions?
Thank you for staying on for an hour, everybody. I guess we're interesting.
He says there, great info. We've got Teresa Wilburn, and Teresa has an incredible program where she has created a way to help junior high school parents help their children succeed. So she's created this whole curriculum for parents to help their junior high school students, which, that age is so important. And I know that Teresa is trying to get into a lot of the school systems, getting into the superintendents and so forth. Is that right, Teresa? And so that would be a good question. Let's say that you're trying to get past the gatekeeper, and this could apply to any B2B business. What would be something it's like, they won't pay attention to me, I can't get through, the person that's on the other end of the phone so that I can get to Mr. CEO for an appointment?
Okay, so the scenario is you got a gatekeeper. First off, you got to stop calling him a gatekeeper. That's like a negative. It's like cold calling. If you got a cold calling, just move to Arizona. Take your calls outside. It's 120 degrees outside. Cold calling is just the most negative thing you'd say. Number two is you've got to realize what you have matters. So it's all about posture and positioning. Whenever you're dealing with gatekeepers, I even deal with this with my attorney. I'll call up and go, I use a two-pronged approach sometimes, and I'll call up, get the gatekeeper's name, and then I'll hang up, call back a couple days later. If I get, Lucy is for the gym, the CEO, I'll hey, Lucy, hold on a second, I hang up, right? A couple days later, go, hey, Lucy, it's Michael Bernoff again. See the word I just said? Again. Can you put me through to Jim? The reason why I say again is they rack their brain and they say, whoa, this person must have been here before. I don't want to look bad. So I'll call and go, hey, Lucy, it's Jim again. Can you patch me through to Allison, please? Thank you. I'll wait. Now, just the word again, it's fascinating what that does. I challenge you to do it. I've done it 1,000,000 times. Works great.
I like, thank you, I'll wait.
Yeah, thank you, I'll wait.
You're assuming that she's going to put the call through.
Allison, this used to work when we would go out to there'd be I remember I was at a Frank Kern event years ago, and there's a whole bunch of people waiting in line to get into some club. And I said, watch this, everybody. And you walk up to the guy holding with the licenses, the thing, with the bouncer, and you walk up and you hand him your 2 licenses, me and my wife, and it's just the 2 of us again today. Thank you. And It's me. Okay, you're in. Like that easy. Line of 1,000 people around the corner. They let us in. It's just the two of us again, and I want to thank you for last time. What's fascinating is the again word breaks the barrier. And people say, well, you know, it's this, it's that. Listen, if it's life or death and your product could make someone's life better, if you got to use the word again, and it's not a curse word, the A word, again, and it gets you that person, you better know exactly what you need to say when you get to the other phone call, but that's what you do, and that's it. It's that simple. Hey, just want to let me know, you get the name of the person, you use it, you say again, I'll wait. They freak out, they put you through.
I love it. I love it. Well, hey, I think this is, that was so powerful, and I think we've covered so many different things on this interview, whether it was money or the spouse or B2B, changing your life, influencing yourself and other people. So thank you so much.
Thank you. This was a blast. If you enjoyed this, how about a thank you to Allison? Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Allison. And dump the Prophet's word down below, because I'd love to meet all of you. I'll throw you a high five, a hug. If you're from Jersey, give you one of these. But yeah, I mean, Allison, I love what you're doing. You really care about entrepreneurs. You care about business owners. You've also made a stand and said, it's not me to work with them. They're nice people. The people just trying to figure it out. But if you're serious and you've been here a while, I get your pain. Let's do this together. So your mission and your purpose to help the forgotten entrepreneur, the person doing well but not doing as well as they want to, and knowing there's more in the gas tank, I just want to applaud you for being that person in the world and really doing that. It's huge.
Thank you so much. It's really sweet of you, and you are just such a gem. So brilliant at what you do. So come, everybody, meet Michael Bernoff, and if you thought this was great, wait till you have the opportunity to work with him in person.
Wait till I can stand up and I'm not stuck in a chair and like my claustrophobia kicks in.
I know. Well, I can't wait to see you, and it's going to be just in a few weeks. So,
yes.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode of Allie and You right here next Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Until then, get out, elevate yourself, because you are worth it. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Share this with people you care about, because we'd love to help more people. Bye.
Bye.